What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt. I am Derek. Today, I'm talking about some stuff, but first, I want to say we're at 168 subs, so I thank you so much to everybody that is currently subscribed. If you are not, I would implore you, please subscribe. Our goal is 170, and then you know what the next goal is? 180, 190, and then eventually 200. That's what we're shooting for right now, and we need your help. So please, help us if you would. But before I go any further, I want to give a shout out real quick to Robert Wood, H4V, because me and him have kind of been talking in the comments about what I'm going to be talking about today, which is the final season of the Are You Afraid of the Dark revival, which the season was Ghost Island. This was released in 2022. And yeah, I don't need to say it again. That was the last season, which is kind of a bummer. I am going to be discussing spoilers, so if you have not seen it, please go watch it. Or if you don't mind spoilers like me for some things, stay right here because I got you. But anyways, let's go ahead and go in with a super quick plot synopsis. The Midnight Society goes on an island getaway to a haunted island. Who's in Ghost Island? Damn, first name right out of the gate. We've got Telchi H. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. I'm going to butcher it. As Kayla and Bella. Double duty. They're twins. Then we have Luca Padavin as Leo. Dior. Good John as Summer. And Chance Hurstfield as Ferris. All right. What's good about Ghost Island? I will say the opening I did enjoy with the mother, the baby, and the little girl and the speaking spell. Haven't heard of a speaking spell since probably Limp Bizkit used one in Behind Blue Eyes back in 2003. So it's been a minute. But overall, I think this set a tone, a very good tone. So I was like, okay, I'm on board with this. Let's keep this rolling. I also enjoyed our ghost's backstory, which was one of betrayal by a total douche canoe. And I know the way I say that, it's like, oh, it's kind of predictable. It is, but I still think it was done very well, and it was very unique, if I'm being honest, like with Lucia, I believe was her name, being trapped behind the mirror, and just like anytime she would like hit the glass, like somebody would just like up and die, basically. Like the first person that came in was like looking for her, and then she's like, help! And then boom, just So that I thought was cool. There was a sequence where they were locked in a walk-in cooler. I thought that was actually very, very well done. Especially considering the fact that our baddie for the season can see you in reflections of, like, you know, it could be a metal cabinet that's like super shiny, like stainless steel, like kitchen counters that, you know, do put off a shine. So when they were trapped themselves in there and thought they were safe, and then the water started to come up, and then it's like, oh, water is a perfect reflection. So I liked that overall sequence quite a bit. Now, this is the next thing I'm going to say. It is good, but it does lead into what's bad. The show, like by the second episode, definitely started picking up steam, and I did thoroughly enjoy the second episode, and most of which came after. But segueing right into what's bad, aside from the opening, I did not like the first episode at all. So that tone that I said that it's set, I feel like it boofs it pretty hard, because I'll jump around in my notes. I did not like the kids in this iteration of the Midnight Society. They gave me the same vibes as the kids from the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot that was on Amazon that I'm sure most people have forgotten about, and kind of good reason. That's not a good thing. and this could just be me, but my perception of the Midnight Society is just the kids are just average Joes. They're not dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking rich. And how are these kids able to afford an island getaway? Now, I want people to sit and think about that, because that was like the first thing I had down in my notes before I shuffled everything around. How are these kids able to afford an island getaway? Minimum wage ain't paying that much. I mean, even if they're making, what, 2022 would have been, like, let's say like $11 an hour. I know federal minimum wage is like $7.25 and hasn't changed in forever. They're not making enough to do this, and I highly doubt they're working full time to be able to do this too. So then that leads me to think their parents have got to be rich. Okay, that's fine. But also, why would the parents be completely cool with sending these 4 kids that I'm guessing they definitely age between like 14 and 16? Why would these parents be cool with that? And then they sent the worst person to look after them, because literally right when they get there, she's like, yeah, I'm with my boyfriend. I'm not going to be watching you guys, so you're going to do whatever. Now, I know some people might be like, well, you know, people went to church camp, summer camp, stuff like that. I went to church camp when I was like 16. And you know what? I had good counselors, like, you know, people watching me, like, and everybody else. These kids on an island, no adult supervision whatsoever. Their parents sound absolutely fucking awful, if I'm being 100% honest. Because if my son came up to me, and let's say he's 15, and he's like, hey, me and my friends want to go on this island getaway. Will you pay for it? And also, at the same time, so-and-so's sister's coming, and she's not going to watch us. Fuck no. What kind of parent do you think I am? So I couldn't, like, get over that. I couldn't suspend my disbelief that much to be like, to not call bullshit on that. And it drove me insane. But, like I said, I did not like these kids. The kids in Curse of the Shadows was probably my favorite, like, group of the Midnight Society in this revival. Then Carnival of Doom. These kids, I couldn't stand them. Just all of them drove me insane. Like, I think it was Leo. He was annoying. And Ferris was just like, man, why is that your hot sister not wanting to get with me? Or hot cousin, whatever she was. Constantly. Fucking constantly. It was just kind of like, man, is that it? Is that all you guys are here for? Just to be annoying? You're going to be a bitch. You're obviously fucking going through something, so I'm going to give Kayla a pass because she was at least decent by the end. I still hated the rest of them all throughout, except her, because, yeah, she got better. But a couple other notes. WhatsApp was not a thing in 1996. It was a thing in 1999. Do your homework. There was also a scene where Max was getting ready to tell a story. And because Kayla's sister Bella passed, she didn't want to do that. And they are just beating around the bush so hard with every of the normal, I don't want to say cliche because that makes it sound like a bad thing, but the normal, you know, like getting stuff going. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. Let me throw the shit in the fire and blah. Like, they're just beating around the bush with that, and it was awkward, and I did not find it funny like I think I was supposed to. And the last thing, okay, if you're on a tropical vacation that your parents paid for, and you're an unaccompanied minor, you are supposed to be doing things. Like, sorry if I'm a bad influence. Why aren't you out there drinking? Why aren't you out there trying to, you know, like, make out with a girl or whatever? You're playing fucking Catan? No. Just hard fucking no on that. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and move right into rewatch, buy, and review. Would I rewatch this? No. And I believe with Curse of the Shadows, I said I wouldn't rewatch it just because it was a longer runtime. And this was only 4 episodes compared to 6. But I feel like that itch is scratched and I don't need to go back and revisit it. Would I buy it? Already have? And I'm not saying that in a bad way, just because I'm still pissed that Paramount doesn't even have any of the Are You Afraid of the, or like the, I don't know what I haven't checked it in a while, but I know the revival stuff is gone. I can't remember if they got rid of all the OG stuff too, which if they did, shame on them. But yeah, so I had to buy it in order to be able to watch all of them, which I'm completely fine with because it's Are You Afraid of the Dark. You're going to have some hits and some misses. What score would I give Ghost Island? I am going to give Ghost Island a 5. It was like I just couldn't get over the fact that I did not like these kids and their overall reason for being there. I couldn't suspend my disbelief enough to get on board with it because it was still just hanging around in the back of my head, just like, why are these kids on a fucking island vacation with no parents, no nothing? That's bullshit. That doesn't happen unless if the parents are idiots and awful. So, yeah. Sorry, Robert. I know you said you really liked this one, and don't get me wrong, I am very happy you did. I'm happy that it has its audience. This one just was not for me. But that will do it for Are You Afraid of the Dark Ghost Island, guys. Make sure to comment your thoughts down below. Let's talk about it. If you guys want me to roll through some of the old episodes or the older seasons, I'd actually be on board with checking that out. I know there's going to be a nice hefty layer of cheese on top of all of it, so gotta watch it through rose-colored glasses, I guess, but we'll see. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed yourself, drop a like on the video, and like I said at the beginning, consider subscribing if you have not already. But yeah, I think I covered everything. So until next time, have a good one, guys.
From the crypt, his voice will